Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Real Watchers live stream for March 5th, 2025. My name is Garrett.
And I'm Kevin.
And we are your co-hosts, and we are happy to be here today. Fun fact, it is the day before my birthday, so get the happy birthdays out now. We'll let them fly. It's fine. But anyhow, Kevin, how the hell have you been over the last week?
It was finals week for two of my classes, so it's been finals hell. But it's been overall pretty good. Working, watching movies. I watched more movies than yet last week, so that's a plus in my book.
Well, there you go. It was also finals week for me, so I did my last final paper for my class, and I've got this week off. So from school, and then which maybe. I'll think about it, but maybe we'll take an extra movie during the wheel spin this week if we're both off. But anyhow, but other than that, I've just been all right. Just happy that I get the rest of this week off because of my birthday. But let's see here. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and jump into the stories this week, and let's go ahead and start it out. We got a big one here, and that is that the Oscar winners. The Oscars were on Sunday, March 2nd, and it was a pretty good show. I mean, nothing too surprising. It was a pretty low-key show, and for the third year in a row, my best movie of the year won Best Picture. It's like I know what I'm talking about. But let's go ahead and talk about these real quick. I've got the list up here. So, as I said, Best Picture went to Anora. Best Actor went to Adrian Brody for The Brutalist. Best Actress went to Mikey Madison for Anora. Best Supporting Actor went to Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain. Best Supporting Actress went to Zoe Saldana for Amelia Perez. Best Director went to Sean Baker for Anora. Best Cinematography went to The Brutalist. Best Animated Feature, surprisingly, went to Flow. Best Animated Short went to In the Shadow of the Cypress. Best Costume Design went to Wicked. Best Adapted Screenplay went to Conclave. Best Original Screenplay went to Anora. Best Makeup and Hairstyling went to The Substance. Best Film Editing went to Anora. Best Production Design went to Wicked. Best Original Song, went to El Mal from Amelia Perez. Best Documentary Short went to The Only Girl in the Orchestra. Best Documentary Feature went to No Other Land. Best Sound went to Dune Part 2. Best Visual Effects went to Dune Part 2. Best Live Action Short went to I'm Not a Robot. Best International Feature went to I'm Still Here. And Best Original Score went to The Brutalist. The biggest, honestly, if there's any kind of big surprises going on here, it's the biggest one is I'm Still Here beating Amelia Perez for International Feature, which is a good thing because Amelia Perez is not a good movie. Also, Mikey Madison winning for Best Actress for Anora over Demi Moore, which I think a lot of people were expecting, but still very much deserved for either of them. It's not a bad thing that it went to either one. I think that Mikey Madison did have a better performance, but yeah, super exciting. And what's really cool is that Sean Baker, who's the director, editor, and writer and producer of Anora, is the first person in history to win 4 Oscars for the same movie.
Ooh,
which is huge achievement. So yeah, so some fun stuff for the Oscars this year. It was a good show. Hopefully next year it'll be just as exciting.
Yeah, and hopefully we get good movies as well. I mean, we still have the whole 2025 season coming up for us. So.
Very true.
Mm-hmm. Next up for me is Avengers 5 and 6 will be estimated around 2.5 hours long and 3 hours long, respectively. And that's okay. I mean, I think to get the whole picture story, especially with the MCU universe, though, that's an appropriate hours.
Yeah, this is a big story, and especially after seeing some of those concept art of Doctor Doom in the medieval times, and a lot of stuff going on. Who knows? Like, this is going to be some really interesting stuff. But I'm getting kind of more and more excited for these films as the days go on.
Yeah.
Next up, though, from the best of the year to the worst of the year, we did have the Razzie Awards, which were announced last week before the Academy. And I also have the winners or losers for that as well. So, Worst Picture went to Madam Web. Worst Actor went to Jerry Seinfeld in Unfrosted. Worst Actress went to Dakota Johnson for Madam Web. Worst Supporting Actor went to Jon Voight for 4 different movies, for Megalopolis, Reagan, Strangers, and there was another one. Worst Supporting Actress went to Amy Schumer from Unfrosted. Worst Director went to Francis Ford Coppola for Megalopolis. Worst Screen Combo went to Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga for Joker 2. Worst Prequel, Remake, Ripoff, or Sequel went to Joker 2. And Worst Screenplay went to Madam Web.
Very surprised to see no Borderlands on that.
Very surprised. It was literally one of the worst pieces of cinematic filth I've seen. So I'm surprised it was. It was nominated for everything, but it didn't win anything, which is kind of surprising. But yeah, just kind of a fun one to throw in there. But
yeah,
gotta offset all the good.
Does that Worst Supporting Actor get 4 Razzies then, or is it just one Razzie?
It's one for 4 films.
Yeah. I mean, they're gonna have to fit that on the little nameplate there.
Yeah, right. If they even pick it up.
Yeah. Next up, Jaws returns to theaters on August 29th for its 50th anniversary. Hits Peacock to stream on June 15th. I mean, if you haven't gone to see this movie, this is a great movie, first of all. But absolutely, that would be really cool to go see in the theaters.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, we did just get the announcement during the Academy Awards that there is going to be a new exhibit based around Jaws coming to the Academy Museum starting in September. So I'm going to be going back. But next up here, this is super exciting. This isn't going to happen, but I hope it does.
Crossing our fingers.
Osgood Perkins, director of recent The Monkey and Longlegs, has stated that he wants to do a Star Wars movie, but it would be based on Darth Vader's nightmares. And it would be an R-rated Star Wars horror movie. Basically, it would be like 5 or 6 anthology shorts, each one being a different nightmare that Darth Vader has about his past or something going wrong. This sounds so good.
We need R-rated movies, Star Wars movies. Like, period.
I mean, I don't think they're going to do an R-rated Star Wars movie. If they can rope him in a little bit, if he can do a PG-13 and still make it really scary and intense, go for it.
Yeah. Okay.
But it would have to be much more like personal and much more like character driven than like gory or anything, which I think you could easily do.
Oh yeah, but I think I don't want to get my hopes up for it, but that sounds fantastic.
It's not going to happen, but I mean, hey, it's still fun to think about.
Yeah, exactly. Next up, Scream 7 brings back David Arquette. They're just bringing everybody back.
Yep, they're trying to save the sinking ship after they couldn't get Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega back. But I mean, I thought he died, but I get on screen he died. So I don't know how they're gonna talk about this one, unless it's like a flashback or something.
No,
but next up, this is pretty exciting. The Vertigo remake with Robert Downey Jr. is reportedly still moving forward. The director does have the idea swirling around his head and wants to start getting it written soon. So all on board with that. So
yeah, that would be cool to see revamped Vertigo movie.
Oh yeah, 100%. Vertigo's so good.
Yeah, it is. Speaking of not good, Shrek 5 trailer released. It does add Zendaya to the cast, but gets worse animation, and major fans have been backlashing against it. And I have seen it. I don't understand it, to be honest with you. It looked pretty similar to me.
It looks
Maybe.
awful. Are you kidding
Really?
me?
I
The
haven't seen
characters
Shrek
look
in a long
nothing like
time.
they used to. It looks cheaper. It looks worse. It just
Mhm.
oh no. I think it's really funny that the team who did the recent like Sonic redo, because they got the
Mhm.
Sonic wrong the first time.
Yeah.
That team commented on like their Twitter post or whatever and was like, "We're here if you need help,"
Yeah.
which is so good.
Yeah. Well, let's see what they do with it, because the audience gave their opinion. Let's see if they want
Let's see if they listen. We're still got like
Yeah.
a year or two away, so hopefully we can. Oh boy, yeah, that trailer was real bad. Yeah. The next Mad Max film is written, but George Miller has said that it will not be his next film, which is a little. I mean, we don't even know if we're getting one at this point because Furiosa was a little bit of a box office failure, even though it was loved by critics and fans. No idea yet. Hopefully, it does come out, but
Yep.
no idea what his next movie is going to be though yet. So,
But I would love to see more Mad Max, though. Love that. Next up, the next Lord of the Rings film, The Hunt for Gollum, will release in 2027. I'm all here for it. Give it.
Yep.
I'm down. I just need to see a trailer, and then I'll be even more hyped.
gimme. Exactly what I'm going to say. Some really sad news. This happened like I think the day after our last stream, but actor Gene Hackman unfortunately passed away at the age of 95. A well-respected and very much talented actor, one of the best of his generation. It's very sad to see him go, and it sounded like it was a horrific way to go. They didn't find him for like a week or two.
Oh, geez.
So hopefully, and his wife also passed away as well. So, very, very sad news. And we did get a very touching tribute at the Oscars on Sunday. So
At 95, that's a long time. So good.
yeah, it did make it a while. Apparently, he was in really good health too. So who knows?
Unfortunate, but Taika Waititi's Star Wars movie will still being written. Sorry, that was not English. It's still being written. So
apparently, he's teaming up with a new writer to help co-write the film.
Hopefully, it's not funny though.
I mean, I'm fine with humor in Star Wars if it works.
If it fits, that's the thing.
Yeah, it depends on the type of story you're telling.
Yeah.
But we got a couple of Star Wars pieces of news here. Next up, Sean Levy's upcoming Star Wars film with Ryan Gosling is going to be set after Episode 9. This is the next film we are going to be getting after The Mandalorian and Grogu next year.
Okay.
So, kind of excited to see where they're going to take the franchise after the sequel trilogy and what stories they're going to tell. Apparently, this is a standalone, its own thing. So, who knows what they're going to do with it?
Yeah, who knows? We'll see. But next up, Simon Kinberg's Star Wars trilogy will be set after Episode 9 as well. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm glad we're kind of exploring a new era and getting away from the Skywalker stuff. Let's see some new corners of the galaxy. Let's see some new threats. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
And the last piece of news today, Staircase Studios, I forgot to capitalize the second S there, plans on making at least 30 films for $500,000 each in the next 3 to 4 years, completely using AI. They put out a trailer for their first movie. It's like The Woman in the Red Dress or something like that. And it looks abysmal. So this is going to be a warning to people not to use AI for sure.
Yeah. Use real people, please.
I mean, they're using real voice actors and stuff, and they're dubbing over like the AI footage, but it looks terrible. There's like
AI's gonna look terrible. It's gonna look too shiny and everything like that.
I think this studio will single-handedly prove to the world that AI movies will not work.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. All right, we did have quite a few comments that came in here though, so let's get together here. Hello, everyone! Happy birthday! Thank you.
Hi, Matt. Welcome back.
Welcome back, Matt. It's been a long time. Wicked Part 1 got Best Costume Man and Production Design? Yes, it deserves both.
It was really
Don't You Mean 2025 Oscar winners? Yeah, it's the films from 2024 are getting awarded. That's why it's kind of confusing sometimes. But technically, you're right. Let's see here. Never even heard of Unfrosted. This was the movie about the start of Pop-Tarts with a lot of people in it. Yeah, it wasn't that good. And highly agree with you here, Joey. R-rated is not needed per se. It all depends on the context. 100%. It doesn't have to be R-rated, but you know.
But we did get an R-rated MCU movie, and it turned out very well. So.
The Shrek animation looks fine to you? Okay. I'm glad you like it.
Again, it doesn't bother me, I guess.
I don't know. That really rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know. I don't know if I can watch it. It'll probably be like Jamie Kennedy in Scream 3, where there's a video or something since he died in 2. Maybe. Or a flashback or
But
something.
Then why announce that if he's going to be in the movie for like 0.2 seconds of it?
Yeah, it's all just marketing to try and get people in the theater.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Gene Hackman is a year older than Clint Eastwood. Yeah. Hopefully we don't lose Clint.
Eastwood's 94?
He's super old, yeah.
What? Okay.
One of their dogs, too. Don't forget that. I totally forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, it was Gene and his wife and their dog. I think they thought it was maybe carbon monoxide poisoning. But
they still haven't put anything out yet, right?
The test didn't prove that, and it looks like it was a failed pacemaker, at least in Gene Hackman. But we don't know about the wife or anything else in the house. So I was thinking, yeah, there's something fishy Gene's and his wife death. Yeah, who knows? We'll see.
We'll see. But
not to use 100% of AI for a profit. Anyway, yeah. I mean, it's just a bad idea through and through.
It is.
Didn't I see Captain America: Brave New World? I did see it. I completely forgot to click on that. That's my bad. But glad you saw it. Cool. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and get into the next thing of the trailers that came out this week.
Yep. Two of them stood out to me. I mean, again, The Woman in the Yard looks really good, and The Electric State. I just think it looks like a fun movie to watch. I heard some things about Sacramento, and then, of course, Demon Slayer Infinity Castle. That's okay with me. But Bambi: The Reckoning. Here comes the Disney cheese, and I'm so down for it.
Alrighty. I did not watch the Woman in the Yard trailer because there's been a really bad thing lately about horror movies getting spoiled in their second trailer. So I tried to avoid it. I think The Electric State looks like it's going to be fine. We'll see how it is when it comes out. Death of the Unicorn is still one of my most anticipated movies of the next couple of months for sure. And that's really about it. It stood out to me. So
okay.
Not really going to dig any deeper here, but let's go ahead and get into the box office.
Well, the box office, Captain America: Brave New World is still on top with 14.9 million. Last Breath coming in with 7.9 million. The Monkey still hanging strong in there at third with 6.4 million. Paddington in Peru is still paddling his way up this top 5 with 4.5 million. And Dogman squeaks in there with 4.2 million. Cool to see Last Breath actually get up there. I mean, wish it was number 1, but that's what they were hoping, but it wasn't really marketed well, I don't think.
Yeah, and I mean, you're still dealing with a Marvel movie, even though it's not the most, the most good of them, right? It's still a Marvel movie. So like, if people see that in theaters, they're going, let's go see that. It's not going to, they're not going to think about anything else. But I did see a lot of trailer pushes for The Last Breath in the last couple of weeks. So that does help kind of get it up there. But yeah, I mean, that's really about it. I'm still glad to see the Monkey up there.
Yeah,
really good movie. Alrighty, and next up we'll move into the movies that are coming out this week, and I am super excited for the first one here, which is Mickey 17. Probably going to go see this for my birthday, so we'll have to go, Kevin, and anyone else who is interested, of course, in our friend group. Mickey 17, known as an expendable, goes on a dangerous journey to colonize an ice planet. This is the next film from director Bong Joon-ho, who did Parasite, the Oscar-winning film from 2020. Super excited for this movie. Really good reviews kind of coming out of the gate, so I cannot wait to go and check this one out.
I love seeing the ads that with Mark Ruffalo, where he's like, "We're just having fun on that set the entire time."
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that ad? Yeah. Oh, I'm like, okay, if they're having fun on there, it's going to be a good movie. I feel.
Oh yeah. Second up is In the Lost Lands. A queen sends the powerful and feared sorceress Grey Alice into the ghostly wilderness of the Lost Lands in search of a magical power, where the sorceress and her guide, the drifter Boyce, must outwit and outfight man and demon. This movie looks awful because it's the same director as the Resident Evil movies and in Monster Hunter, and he just does not make good films. But yeah, it's also from the writer of Game of Thrones, which I'm sure that's going to drag his reputation down the toilet. But up after that is Queen of the Ring. In a time when pro wrestling for women was illegal all over the United States, a small-town single mother embraces the danger as she dominates America's most masculine sport and becomes the first $1 million female athlete in history. I believe this is all. Yeah, it's based on a true story and doesn't have the biggest cast in the world. Does have like Walton Goggins is in it, and Emily Bett Rickards plays the main character, Mildred Burke. She was most popular for the series Arrow. Mm-hmm. But best thing to come out of this is two very popular. One of my favorite singers did a cover of "Dust in the Wind" for this, which is absolutely fantastic. And lastly is a new animated movie, Night of the Zoopocalypse. A wolf and mountain lion team up when a meteor unleashes a virus, turning zoo animals into zombies. They join forces with other survivors to rescue the zoo and stop the deranged mutant leader from spreading the virus.
This sounds like a Netflix movie. I'm so sorry.
It does. I'm not seeing like many particularly good reviews, but I'm not seeing bad ones either. It's just kind of like middle of the road. So if you're looking for a decent family movie, it might be the way to go. Apparently, this does come from the mind of Clive Barker, though.
Oh,
so that's interesting. But that is it for this kind of scheduled stuff here. Seeing the trailer of Mickey 17 was not impressed. Well, I'm sorry. Hurts to be wrong sometimes. But I'm just kidding. Can't wait for it. Alrighty, but let's go ahead and dive into the movies we watched this week. And I believe
we can go back and forth.
You watched, yeah. So you watched 2, I watched 3. I'll go ahead and start it out with all 3 of mine are movies that I own that are on my shelf that I actually haven't watched yet, which I'm glad as I'm starting to get through them. But up first, there's some music too. Up first, I watched Kiki's Delivery Service, which I was very excited to check out. It's a wonderfully magical little film. I think that is good for any audience. This feels the most like a Disney movie that any of Ghibli's and Miyazaki's movies have been. Mm-hmm. I don't think this movie is nearly as groundbreaking or as incredible as films like Howl's Moving Castle or Princess Mononoke or Spirited Away, but this is a very good movie still. It's got a main character who's super likable and is just genuinely a good person. I really like that the film doesn't take a typical narrative approach. There's no major villain or anything, and I really like that. It's beautifully animated, which is, that's like calling a square a square. It's a Miyazaki movie. It's going to be gorgeous. The color of this movie, though, is really what stood out to me, especially a lot of the blues and the greens. It's not my favorite Miyazaki movie. I absolutely love this movie, but it's not my tip of the top. But I really enjoyed it, and I want a sassy Phil Hartman voiced cat, which would be, I'm allergic to cats, but I'll take a Phil Hartman cat any day.
Just take some allergy pills with that cat and you'll be fine.
Exactly. But speaking of anime,
yeah, Lord of the Rings War of the Rohirrim I watched. This was on Max on Friday, and this was fantastic. Actually, the animation in this was pretty superb. I absolutely loved it. The characters, some of them did get a little lost in the background, like the side characters. They were just, I think some of them were just placed in there. Unfortunately, I wanted to see more of Hera's brother, and just because he's he's the next heir to the throne. So I would like to see a little bit more of him. But I loved the world building of this Lord of the Rings movie. We got to go into like this swampy area, and this big like octopus tree looking thing attacks an elephant looking thing. I forget what they're called, but
that Oliphant.
Yeah, and that looks fantastic. I mean, the animation in this is superb. Absolutely loved it. So I gave it an 82 out of 100.
Nice. Sticking it with the Japanese theme here, I watched Rashomon from 1950. This is an Akira Kurosawa film. It's my second after Seven Samurai, and it's nice to see that this one's a lot smaller of a scale than Seven Samurai is. Seven Samurai is a very big kind of epic film. This is a lot more intimate. This is a much more rich and layered personal story between three different people. The entire thing is a samurai is murdered, and a thief and the samurai's wife are all that remain, and each one of them is telling a different story, and no one knows what the true story is. And so it's kind of a fascinating that a film in the 50s explores a topic like this, I think. I think the film can get a little goofy at points. There's some overacting a little bit, but Toshiro Mifune is still one of the best actors of his generation, and he's absolutely fantastic as the bandit character here. It's a gorgeously shot film, especially the sequences that take place in the rain in the location called Rashomon. It makes that building feel like as much a character as the actual characters are, which is really cool. And I like how the film examines evil and justice in a way, but I really like the way that this film goes about it. So 85 out of 100 is what I gave it. Not my favorite Kurosawa film, but it's still a very, very good one.
Yeah, coming from a 3-hour movie to a 1.5-hour movie.
Yeah,
that's a long distance.
And our fourth film by a Japanese filmmaker here.
And yeah, we're keeping on the trend with 100 out of 100. We're 3 weeks in a row. Is Grave of Fireflies. Damn, this one's emotional, but it's a watch that you should watch if you want to know a different aspect of a war film. And that's what I really liked about this movie. It's not about what is it called? It's not about giving like everybody should be hyped about a war. This is the bad side of war, and I absolutely loved it. The two main characters absolutely are amazing in this. The voice actors did not get annoying to me at all. The little girl was very cute, and the brother was just trying to be a big brother. Unfortunately, I don't want to spoil anything, because if you haven't seen this movie, it is a damn heartbreak. And the animation style, again, you can't go wrong with it. It's so freaking fantastic in this, and it's a tearjerker, but it should be a movie that everybody should watch. Like, I would have loved to watch this in world history or something like that, to get the other's perspective of the other side of World War II. So
yeah,
I really enjoyed this. 100 out of 100. It's on Netflix right now if you want to go watch it.
Yeah, we both give this movie 100. It is a perfect film. And it is, again, one of the saddest movies. It's up there with Schindler's List and kind of how sad it really is.
Yeah.
All right, and last up for me, before we get into the wheel spin, is The Social Network, which is a movie I've seen a couple of times, but I wanted to make sure that I had reviewed the film. The man is just as flawed as his creation is really what the big thing is here. It's a thoroughly engaging film about something that a lot of us think we know the story for, but this kind of gives us a more full, well-rounded way of hearing how Facebook started. It's not my favorite Fincher movie. I still think Fight Club and Seven are better, and Zodiac. All those are better, but I think that this one is still very, very, very good. And mostly because the performances. Jesse Eisenberg is fantastic as Mark Zuckerberg. Andrew Garfield and Justin Timberlake are also incredible in this movie. I'd say they're about the same level as Eisenberg. All of them give career best performances here. The film is really well paced. The story is incredibly easy to follow, and it never makes anything feel like out of your league. It makes everything understandable, which is really nice. Also, one of the best film scores of the 2000s, with Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross's score for this movie. It is a perfect film score. It really is that good, and they did win the Oscar for it, which is good. It's not my favorite Fincher film, but it does slow down a little bit, but it is a very, very good movie.
Very cool. Very cool.
Alrighty.
Keep going back and forth with these rule spins.
Let's do it. Let's get your short film here.
Got my short film, Little Rule Riding Hood. First of all, I had my dyslexia went above the roof when I was trying to type this, but but this is a really good animated film. I love the animation style when it's like a chase scene and they keep going through doors in the house and it keeps opening and closing, and then they split the wolf in half sometimes to make it feel like a door. That was very interesting on how they did that. And then it's just a good fun movie. I was getting little chuckles here and there about everything, and it great. 81 out of 100.
All right. My short this week was Ant Pasted, which is a little short about Elmer Fudd going to war with some ants on 4th of July. It's a fun little short. It's well animated. It's a 50s Looney Tunes short, which I always prefer. I think that kind of style. I'd have to go back and examine that statement. But I just wish that it had a better character that the ants were going up against. I think Elmer Fudd is a cool character. He's fine. I think it would have been better if it was like Daffy Duck going up against the ants. Would have been like a callback to his, World War II, shorts that Daffy Duck was in. Mm-hmm. But it portrays their conflict as like a war, and it's kind of fun. It's fun. It's nothing groundbreaking for me.
Okay.
But let's get to your film though, which is also animated.
It is, and it is Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. This movie is just so much fun to watch. The animation style is it's bobble. I call it bobblehead animation because that's what it looks like. Everybody is either really skinny with big heads or they're big with big heads, and I really enjoyed this movie. It's a kids movie, so take it with a grain of salt. It's not going to be the most dialogue heavy movie or anything like that, but it's a really fun. There's a meme in this movie where the police officer is running towards the main character. I saw that and I thought that was funny because I've just seen all the memes about it. But everything else, there's some adult jokes in here, and there's some kid jokes that were like, oh, okay, that one's pretty clever. And I mean, who doesn't want it to rain hamburgers and stuff like that whenever you need it to? So give it a 73 out of 100. Sorry.
All right. And lastly, that's going to bring it to my movie, which is a horror movie recommended by Nadia on the wheel, which is The Taking of Deborah Logan, which is a film that I had seen the cover of, but I'd never actually heard of or seen before. I didn't even know this was going to be a found footage movie. I knew nothing going into this movie. And I will say, this is one of the better found footage films that I can think of. I think, it's very successful, or it's successful due to its performances from Jill Larson and Anne Ramsey, especially Jill Larson, who plays Deborah Logan in this movie. I think she's very good, and she plays the character and her ailment very well. I think that also, while I think like found footage films tend to not be very realistic, this one does feel more grounded. Unfortunately, it feels that grounded in the first half. I think the second half, it does get a little jump the sharky. It just jumps straight into like supernaturalness, and I would have preferred it to be a little bit more low key, still scary, but not go into like that kind of where it goes. I don't want to spoil it for everyone. My biggest issue with the movie, though, is something that horror movies tend to do quite a bit, and that's make an enemy out of mental illness. Just because this woman is going through the early stages of dementia or Alzheimer's doesn't mean that she's evil, and I don't like that when movies do that. However, this movie does posit that there is a supernatural reasoning for why she's going through these, which does make it a little bit better, but still it kind of skirts that line for me. As someone who's had family members with Alzheimer's, it does kind of hurt a little bit. Mm-hmm. But it is nice to see it represented in film, because I don't think Alzheimer's or dementia are talked about nearly enough. And I think that it's probably one of the most horrifying things that can happen to you, honestly.
It is.
But it is a creepy enough film. There are some genuinely creepy moments in this movie, which I really appreciated. It'll get some good scares out of you, but I think when it goes for the full supernatural is when I kind of enjoyed it the least. I really liked the first half, I think, the most. So, and if they kept that energy going the whole time, I think it would have been like a new favorite found footage movie.
Oh, very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool.
But that's it for the wheel spin this week. Let's see here. I already saw a movie like that called Zombie. It was terrible. Oh, you're talking about the Zoopocalypse one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why this message didn't come up before. I'm sorry. Oh my God, Millie peeking in the background.
Yeah.
She gonna do that. Alrighty, but let's go ahead and get to our favorite part, Kevin. You know what time it is.
It's time to wheel that spin.
You know what? You nailed it.
I did.
Let's go ahead and wheel that spin. So this week, Kevin, you don't have school this week, right?
Oh, I'm already in my next classes. It's okay.
Can you do two movies?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna make up because I don't have class. I'm better than you. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Well, I'll go ahead and do two movies for both of us this week. We'll kind of catch up a little bit. We'll also do a short because shorts take 10 minutes. It's not like the worst thing in the world. So let's see what we got here. Baghead and Deadstream. Is that the sequel to Livestream?
I'm seeing if I have watched these just to make sure.
Okay, just let me know. But let's go ahead and get some suggestions. Put them on the wheel, so we can go ahead and get this thing. It's already at 300, so maybe we don't do suggestions after this week. We just kind of get through as many as we can. But any others, we'll go ahead and give it another 2 minutes or so. Kevin, what are you hoping for? What do you want to see this week?
Let's see. Let's see what you pulled up here.
Let's just talk like genre. Like, what kind of genre are you hoping for?
I mean, again, never can go wrong with horror with me. So, good horror movie would be good. I just had a kids movie, so hopefully maybe a more adult movie, maybe a rated R like Zodiac would be really cool. A little action mystery movie. That's it. Pretty much it.
All right. I'm kind of open for anything. You guys know me. I'll watch anything, any genre. So we'll go ahead and do it. Joey's got 2 fighting game movies on here: Street Fighter 2, the animated movie, and Fatal Fury, the motion picture. So some very interesting stuff. We'll go ahead and give it another minute here. If anyone else has any suggestions. But yeah, I don't know. I just had a horror movie. Like, again, I'm fine with horror movies. I would rather see a different kind of genre or something come up. I'd really like to land on Kevin's choice. I'd love to see what Kevin has picked out for me.
Me too.
If he has one. But yeah, especially since I don't have class for the rest of this week and I've got time off because of my birthday, I'm probably going to try and watch as many movies as I can. So,
very cool.
Because the way that I look at it, I don't remember who I was talking about this recently, but like the way I look at it is like you and I, it's like we're playing sports in high school, right? You got to practice. And that's exactly what it is. The more movies you watch, the more practice you're getting at analyzing them, thinking about them, appreciating them. So, it's just like practicing for that big game.
I got to look up movies for you.
Alrighty, well, you better hurry because we got about 15 seconds left. I'll go ahead and let that time run dry. Giving it a couple more minutes here. Or a couple of seconds, excuse me, not minutes. And that is it. So we'll go ahead and cut it off there. Go ahead and shuffle this up. Alrighty, Kevin. Let's get you a short.
Yep, give me a short. I landed on it last time, so hopefully we can land on it this time.
Who knows? There is no short. That is not a short, but your closest one is... It's the tail or the something. It's the T is what I see. The Trial of Donald Duck.
Ooh, good.
Is your short. He's going on trial.
I'm going on trial.
Crimes against ducks. All right. So we'll go ahead and remove that short from the list and shuffle this up. And we'll spin to get my short. I don't know. I don't know. I just want to get a short. Let's get them off the list here. All right. Let's see here. My short is. I see Kitty something. Yeah, that's the shortest one. No, Fox Pixar. Top Secret was not picked because we were looking for shorts, is what we're looking for. All right, Kitty Foyle is our short. For mine. All right. And let's go ahead and spin. This is going to be the big one. This is for all the marbles, Kevin. You ready?
I'm glad I collect marbles.
There you go. Here is your first movie. Because we're going back to 2 for just this week.
Mm-hmm.
And what's it going to be? What's it going to be, Kevin? What's it going to be? It is going to be...
I'm going to pick my movie? Oh, it's my pick.
No, this doesn't count. Spin again! You can't pick for yourself.
Technically, we do that.
You do that anyway outside the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting goosebumps, the Jack Black one.
Okay, I know which one that one is.
Yep, and that's a Nadia pick, so I'm sure she'll be more than happy to watch that with you. We'll go ahead and shuffle this up, and we'll get my movie this week. Or my first one. It would be funny if it lands on Garrett's pick, because I'm not picking mine.
Be pretty funny.
Halloween 2 from 2009.
Ooh, the Rob Zombie version.
Yes, one of the ones I hear is not that good, but I think some people have feelings for it. I don't know.
Mixed bag here.
I don't know. That's 2 Nadia picks, by the way. We got Halloween 2 and Goobum. All right, go ahead and remove that off the list. And Kevin, your second movie.
Yeah. Let's see what it's going to be.
Whatever could it be? I hope it's a Garrett pick for you. Starry, wrong number from 1948. Let me make sure that's not a short. From 1948. And no, that is not a short. It is an actual film. So that's very different from what I was expecting to see on the wheel, but hey, we got it. All right, and my second movie this week, you're gonna have to rent that one, Kevin. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
And mine this week, my second one is, oh my gosh, it's Kevin's pick for me.
Oh, yay! Do I have a movie? Absolutely not. I don't. What movie should we have here? Well, have you reviewed Treasure Planet?
That's a great question. I think I did as a part of the Disney binge that I did.
I think so. You did,
because I watched all of them. Yes, I have seen it and reviewed it.
Okay.
I gave it an 82.
Oh, very good, very good. Underrated movie. Have you seen War Games, like the 1989?
We that was one of the wheel spins already. Yeah, so yes, I have seen that.
Oh man,
I gave War Games a 70.
Okay, let's go with. Bro, you've seen like so many movies.
I'm almost at 200 for this year alone already.
Did you see September 5th? September 5th?
No, but is it available on anything?
It's on Paramount.
Then I will watch September 5th.
September 5.
Alrighty. So, Joey, how do you feel about watching a holiday movie not on the holiday month? Feels weird to me. Yeah, I watched Muppet Christmas Carol last week. That was a little odd. But I think it's fine. I mean, like, if you really love the movie, then it shouldn't matter. You know, if you really like Nightmare Before Christmas, watch it whenever you want. I watch Die Hard year round, and that's a Christmas movie. So Kevin, you should always have a movie in the back pocket just in case.
It's hard because he's watched a lot of movies, so I have to keep like 7 in my back pocket just to make sure.
Yeah, how many am I at this year? Including short films, I am at 130 this year alone, and I'm at 1,650 that I've reviewed. So, alrighty. So Kevin's movies this week will be the short film "The Trial of Donald Duck," the Goosebumps Jack Black one, and Sorry, Wrong Number from 1948. My films this year will be the short Kitty Foyle, Halloween 2 from 2009, the Rob Zombie sequel, and September 5, which is the 2024 movie about the Munich Olympics.
Yep.
Which I feel like I'm gonna have to watch the. I don't think I've seen the. Have I reviewed the Rob Zombie Halloween?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that.
Well, I'm probably gonna have to watch. Yeah, I haven't reviewed it, so I'm gonna have to watch the first one. And then I haven't seen Munich either, which is the Steven Spielberg movie about the same event as September 5. But that one I'd have to rent. Alrighty. So that's going to be it for this week. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I know it's kind of a short one this week, but hey, who doesn't want a short one? I'm also really hungry and I need to eat. But, of course, this week we do have our Real Watchers Awards are up. So if you haven't checked those out yet, you can see what we awarded our best of the year, as well as worst and most. We also have our brand new movie club episode coming out this Friday, which is The Thing. So really excited to talk about that. Joey says, must you watch the first one? I mean, hey. And hey, don't want a short one. That's what she said. But really excited for the Thing because it's a really fun movie and can't wait to talk about it. And of course, this live stream every Friday. And then I will be having our biggest video ever was the video I did, the 150 films that remind me why I love film. I've just updated that video, and I'm putting some final touches on it, and that will probably be coming out in the next week or two. So get to see an updated list of my 150. Like, if you ever need a recommendation, you go to that list, and I think that's kind of a best way to think about it. So, but thank you, everyone, for watching us this week, and we will be back next week, same time, same place. And until next time, make sure to keep those eyes on the screen. Bye, everyone. Thank you.